And it is always great to welcome back to our WTMY Artist Spotlight. Good friend to the show, good friend to all of you out there. She's going to be performing, good news, coming up on June 19th and 20th. A little bit north of us, but not too far away, at the Villages, doing 2 shows, 7 p.m. at the Sharon Morse Performing Arts Center. We'll find out about it. Always great to welcome the great singer, actress, author, Deana Martin with us today. And Deana, good to talk to you. How are you?
Nice to talk to you, Doug. I am fabulous. It's always so much fun to talk to you, and I can't wait to see you. You're going to come to my shows, and you're just going to be so entertained.
I try to see it whenever I can. I wanted to get out in Vegas when you were there a few weeks ago. I just couldn't work it out, but I understand it was a great weekend again. I saw you last September out there at the South Point, and this time you had the big band with you. That must have been a fun weekend.
It was so amazing. I mean, they were fabulous musicians, and we have, a few new arrangements, but I have all my classic arrangements. So, we were doing Strangers in the Night, little up-tempo, and we've got fabulous songs, but the musicians were amazing. Of course, I had Rick Creevy, who's my musical director.
Sure.
And, and then Rich Little got up, and Bob Anderson, and, and the gang, Billy Henshey from Dino, Desi, and Billy. They were my backup singers. Sweet, sweet, the memories you gave to me. You did it. You were fabulous.
I was there.
Maybe I can get you up on Friday or Saturday
night.
Well,
I'll be in the audience if you need a third.
Okay.
I'll be there. I can't promise I'll sing on key. I try. But
it's okay. Sometimes it's even better when it's not on key.
It probably is. Well, that's a great moment in your shows for people that are listening, haven't had a chance to see Deana yet. You'll see her do that as part of her show. Of course, that was one of your dad, Dean's big hits, early hits, I guess, in the, mid-50s, right? The Memories Are Made of This.
Yes, and it was, actually, Doug, it was his very first #1 hit.
That was the first one, okay.
Memories Are Made of This. And I was there when he recorded it. So it has special meaning to me. I remember going to Capitol Records with my mom, walking down the hallway to Studio A. And then we walked in, and he had, 42 musicians, and he was up on the podium, and he had his 3 backup singers. They were called the Easy Riders, and they were singing, Sweet, Sweet, the memories you gave to me. And so I do that in the show. And I asked for volunteers to come up, and I tell you, it's one of my favorite parts of the show.
It always works, too. I mean, no matter who you bring up, it works.
It does. It works. And, a couple months ago at at Herb Alpert's Vibrato in Los Angeles, in Beverly Hills, Bel Air, I had Joe Mantegna. He got up.
Oh, yeah.
And he did it. He had 2 of his friends from New York. It was funny. Oh, my gosh, it was great.
Who actually played your dad in a movie at one time, didn't he?
He did, and he's going to... now you see, this could be an exclusive.
Okay.
I think he might be playing him again. He's directing. He's going to direct the movie.
Right.
And we just had another meeting. So things are moving along. And
okay, I wanted to ask you about that. So that's moving along. That's good news. Yeah.
Yes, it is. So
I've been waiting to see this movie. I want to see it.
I know. Well, you know what? We were trying to figure out who could be Dean. And
you think you found one? You don't have to say the name, but you think you found somebody?
I think we might have.
Oh, great.
But I'm not sure. Where's the wood? We're always Italians are superstitious.
Sure, no, I understand that.
Yeah, but
it has to be the right person. I know you say that in your shows. I mean, it has to be the right. Because there's been other movies made about your dad and the guy playing your dad. Not talking about Joe now. Other movies just don't have it.
Yeah, I know. I know. But this one. No matter how long it takes, it's going to be respectful and fabulous, and it's turning the corner now. So I'm excited, very excited about that. And we're doing a new album, which is always
that's great. Now, I know you talked about it recently, a new CD. You looking to? You still picking the songs, or what's the process?
We're still picking the songs, and and Charlie is doing arrangements. Of course, Charlie Colello. And it's going to be just another fabulous big band. Just like that's what I do. It's just it's exciting. It's exciting to pick out the songs and to work with them, and try and figure out what the tempo will be and all of it. So it's a wonderful learning and magical experience for me. I love recording.
Well, we've been wearing out Destination Moon here at WTMY, so we need a new one from you.
Well, I will when I see you on Friday and Saturday. Then I'll hand you a couple, and just wear those out. It's such a good album, Doug. I mean, it really came out just the way we wanted it to.
I know you've gotten such great response, and I've heard you talk about it in different interviews around the country. Of course, the duet you do with your dad.
True Love.
True Love just kind of touches everybody that sees it live in person, but that's on the CD as well.
Yes, it is, and I have, in fact, I'm down in my studio right now as we are speaking, and just across the way, in my file with my charts, that's where I have the original Nelson Riddle arrangement, handwritten.
Yeah.
That my dad used, that we used to record, and it's it's history, and it's so. Gosh, it's so exciting for me to be able to stand up on a stage now and sing the duet with him, perform live, and know that that's what Nelson Riddle wrote and Cole Porter, and to have the video montage going on behind me. It's sometimes it's hard for me to get through it.
I was going to say, I know you said it's not always easy to do, even though you've done it many times, but it still brings probably a tear somewhere in there when you do that song.
It does, because there's a very fine line. You have to hold it together on stage,
right?
Because you've got the whole show going. But you just you have to be vulnerable and feel everything and feel the lyrics. So it's a fine line that you're kind of walking there, and it's magical to me.
Yeah,
when I do it.
Great job, like you said, with Natalie Cole did with her dad, Nat Cole. Same type of emotion you feel from it when you hear that song.
Yeah, it's true. And the same people. Al Schmidt, who at Capitol, and Steve Genowick, but Al and Steve did it, and they were the ones who did Unforgettable. So it was remarkable to have them to engineer it and put that whole mix together, because that's it's difficult to do, to match everything.
Yeah, great arrangement, and you'll be doing that up at the Villages. Again, we'll just remind the folks, June 19th and the 20th, the Sharon Morse Performing Arts Center. 7 o'clock starts, both Friday and Saturday. And as we kind of kidded about before we went on, Deana, that place is kind of like the Las Vegas of retirement here in Florida, retired village. So you're gonna enjoy that place.
This is what they tell me.
But very active people, not people sitting around. They're very active.
That's what I heard. I also heard that some people, they'll probably, come in their golf cart.
A lot of golf carts there, I understand.
Yeah, hopefully they won't be wearing golf clothes. Hopefully they'll be dressed, because I'll have on I've got new gowns. So that'll be nice. So hopefully, I know there'll be a nice, respectful, fabulous, funny audience, and, they will get my humor and enjoy all the great arrangements. So I'm looking forward to it. But they're coming in their golf carts.
Well, I know most of the audience there, I'm sure, watched your dad on TV, so you already have that built-in love right there. So that's going to make it a little easier for you.
That's right. And I will bring back memories for them, and we're going to make new memories for them. It's just a wonderful show, and it's everybody's favorite music. And it's all updated, of course. It's classic. The Great American Songbook. I'll be singing, of course, Uncle Frank Sinatra, Uncle Sammy. Oh yes, you haven't heard "Bye Bye Blackbird" yet.
I haven't heard that yet. No, I'm looking forward to hearing that. That's new to the show.
Yeah, that's new, and Strangers. But there's some new things, but all the fabulous arrangements. So I'm looking forward to it, and seeing everybody and meeting new people.
You mentioned Rick Krebs, who is your musical director, lives right here in Florida, so a short trip for him to drive up. So, I got to meet him out in Vegas last September. Great guy, nice man.
Isn't he wonderful? He's such a fine musician, and he's easy to get along with. He's so kind and nice, but he knows what he's doing, and all the musicians respect him. And Rick has played on all of my albums.
Right.
Also, so he knows the music. He's done it with me, and we have a great relationship and a rapport. And he's so funny, So it all works, So it's the humor, it's the stories, it's the music, and it's all about timing also.
You do a great rendition with him on Slow Boat to China. I always look forward to hit that number you guys do together.
That's right. It's one of my favorites. You know, it really is, and he's just so darn cute, and so it works. And I'm looking forward to that also. We didn't do it in Vegas because I have the big band.
Right.
I have done it. In fact, I'm trying to think. I think we did it at the last month. I was at the San Diego Symphony. So, Doug, I had 94 musicians.
Oh, wow.
At the symphony, you know, with the strings and the violas, and I mean, it was just amazing. What a wonderful time. And all of these beautiful charts. The musical conductor was Matthew Garbett, and he knew how to swing my charts. I mean, can you imagine, you know, 94 musicians, and, you know, Rick on the piano, so that was fun. But we're traveling all over the place. We just got back from Australia, did the Australian tour. The audiences there were amazing.
I wanted to ask you about that because
they're a little cuckoo.
Yeah, I've heard you say that. What was the difference there as opposed to the American audiences? Just more vocal, or what was the difference?
More vocal. You know, well, first of all, everybody loved Dean Martin in Australia. Well, of course, everybody loved Dean Martin anywhere. You know, so
sure.
That goes without saying. But there's just something about them that, you know, they got all of the humor. They're a little more, they're rowdier, you might say, okay?
Well, the whole country is based on former prisoners, so I guess they're passed
right.
along.
Yeah, isn't that funny? So they were a little rowdier, and but they were so much fun. And of course, they knew all the songs, and they waited in line after just to say hi to me, and, you know, because I didn't take any CDs or anything with me. But they, you know, they stood there, and I listened to their and I loved their accent. You know, I couldn't understand some of them, but I mean, it was fun, and they were just beautiful. And we're invited to come back, so we will do that.
Well, that was a grueling schedule. I kind of followed you on the website where you were every day. I mean, you did 3 weeks, pretty much a one-nighter every night, maybe a day or two of rest, but pretty much one-nighters, right?
It was one-nighters, and the tough part about it is that it was in a different venue each night.
Right.
So that means, you know, you're setting up the entire thing again. It's not, you know, like you're in one theater and then you go in the next day and do a show. Everything has to be stripped down at night and taken off, and then everything has to be, you know, shipped over to wherever it is we're going, and then it has to be, you know, built again. So you have to do sound checks again. So all of it, you have to start from, you know, scratch at each venue. So, you know, it's tough. But boy, is it worth it. You know,
that's why your husband John gets the big bucks. He does all that stuff.
That's exactly right. Poor John. I don't know how he does it.
He's Deana's producer, for those of you listening out there, and her husband, but does a great job of making sure everything's set up right every day.
Yeah, and I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea. You know, I mean, and that's everything. I mean, that's, you know, booking the musicians, getting their airline tickets, their hotel rooms, transportation, the songs, the charts being, I mean, it's everything. And then, of course, he's got me. Poor John.
Well, you're easy to live with, aren't you?
I am.
I think you are.
I am.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, I wake up happy every day.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's a plus. And it's, you know, good. We got another day. We can, you know, make some great music and you know, think about new songs and new dialogue, and it's you know, it's for me, it's a fabulous life. It's just really hard work.
Well, you're the ambassador of not only Great American Songbook, but of course, you know, your dad's legacy, which people love seeing him. And now, did he ever perform in Australia? I know Frank Sinatra had some concerts down there, but did your dad ever go down there?
Yes, he did. Well, you know what? I believe that he did, but they're still talking about Frank.
Frank had a couple of incidents, I understand, when he was there.
Yes, he did. I tell you, it's just great. You know, what a what a life. You know, I'm sitting here surrounded by pictures of Frank and Dean and Sammy, and I'm in my studio, and it just makes me smile, and to know that I learned from the best.
And this is his 100th year. They're doing a lot of celebrations all over the place, radio and TV, of course. And I know in Vegas, I think they're going to do some things in December. I know Frank Jr. was out there recently. I heard they're going to do something special in December for his birthday.
Yes,
but I don't know what it is yet.
There's so much going on, and it's mind-boggling to me. But I mean, he deserves it. I mean, he was Frank Sinatra, and it's exciting. But we have forgotten. Billie Holiday would have been 100.
Right.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Also, who else? Oh my gosh! A couple of weeks ago, on May 2nd, we went to Catalina Jazz Club. Van Alexander, who wrote
Oh,
Tisket
sure.
and Tasket,
Right.
he turned 100 years old.
Oh, he made the 100. Okay. I know you said it was late 90s. So I didn't know it was 100.
Yeah, and
okay.
so it was his 100th.
Great.
Sue Rainey and Florence Henderson and I, we sang
Right.
for him, and it was just unbelievable. And he's 100 years old. He was so fun, and it was just an amazing. It was like just a big party for his life.
Still pretty sharp. I mean,
he was so sharp.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he was amazing. And his great grandchildren sang Tisket for him, and which was adorable. And I sang "I Love Being Here with You," so it was just a great party. But for me to be able to know these people who wrote songs like Tisket and Tasket, or to know Frank or Bobby Darin or Ella Fitzgerald and Peggy Lee. So all of these people is it's, as I say, it's magical for me when I'm up on stage, able to sing these songs.
Yeah, you tell great stories. The Christmas parties you'd have, people come over like Bobby Darin. I tell you, you look at Bobby Darin, some of the things up on YouTube, his concerts especially. He was as good an entertainer as there ever was. I mean, he wasn't just a singer. He did everything.
He was amazing. He could move. He was
comedy. I mean, he did impressions. I mean, there's some unbelievable what he could do.
Yeah, no, he was great, and he was taken from us way too soon.
I read somewhere he had a rheumatic heart. They didn't think he'd live past maybe 13, 14 years of age, and he lived to 37. I guess he beat the odds that way, but they thought he was going to die much younger.
I know. I remember that. I mean, I don't remember because I wasn't there, but he did, and I think it was all the music, and he was just so it was in him. He was a fabulous entertainer.
Yeah, and he wrote music too. I mean,
Splish Splash.
Splish Splash, right? Yeah, and he made Mac the Knife into a good song.
That's right. He made it cool again.
I mean, the original song is horrible. It's like a real dirge, but he made it into a big band song.
Oh yeah, definitely swinging. Hey, yeah. And so I'm trying to think what album that's on of mine, because I do it.
It's on Volare, I think, isn't it? The Volare album?
It's on Volare. Yes,
I think it is. Yeah, because we played that.
But
But all these people came to your house. I know you said Peggy Lee would come over, Rosemary Clooney, and
and when Rosie would be over, and it's Christmas Eve, and we're singing "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." You know what? It'll be Christmas before we know it again. But
I know. I'm looking forward to seeing the Deana Martin Christmas show. You have to book some dates. I want to go.
Okay, well, we'll do that because I've got a beautiful new red dress.
Yeah.
so that would be.
That's a completely different
great.
show for the people listening. Deana does a Christmas show that is special music for that, and it's always a lot of fun. We saw it out in Vegas a couple of times, but I know it's still early, but I guess you start booking that relatively soon, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. Last year I did 7 shows in 5 days up at the Seneca Casino.
Oh, that's right, Niagara Falls. How did that go?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. It was packed every night, and I'll tell you, I was worried because it was, remember all the snow in Buffalo? I mean, there were 7
terrible up
feet
there,
of snow. But I'll tell you, they are sturdy people. They came out, and they came to the show.
You have to be to live up there.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'm going, oh my gosh, do people come out in blizzards, and their cars were buried, but they showed up, and we had the best time, and then from there I went right to the Fontainebleau in Miami and did a show.
Now, how was that? I couldn't get over that weekend, but of course that place where your dad, Dean, and Frank, and the whole family, they played. That was kind of their Las Vegas East place, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that and it was the same room that my dad performed in with Frank and Sammy, and we had the great, the nice big band. So it was quite something. I was a little tired after 7 shows at the.
You didn't have a lot of buffer time in between there. You had to come right down.
No, I didn't. But it was so much fun because there's no matter what happens, once you get on stage and you hear the horns behind you or the musicians, it just gives you a second and a third wind, and it was just an amazing, wonderful time just to know the history of where I was.
Yeah, I wish Miami was. I know Miami has its own charm now and different, culture. But boy, that was back in the '60s and '70s. Miami was the place. Jackie Gleason, of course, was there, and all the performers came to the hotel. I think Jerry Lewis made a movie in that hotel, didn't he? The Bellhop. Did he make it in that in that hotel? Yeah.
I believe, because I'm thinking of that staircase when he came down, and but I mean everybody played there. I'll have to check that out. I think it was. But, that's where Elvis and Frank, I think it was the same time when Elvis and Frank Sinatra were there together. And there's pictures of, Nancy. And I mean, it was just, it was wonderful to be there and to, relive all the history. It was just great for me.
Yeah. Yeah, Jackie Gleason did his variety show there, I guess, mid-'60s, came down from New York. And I know your dad and Jackie were great friends. I know Jackie did a couple of the roasts. They enjoyed a drink or two together, I'm sure.
Oh yes, they did. Jackie a little more.
Jackie
than my
more
dad.
so, though. Yes, Jackie wasn't shy about it.
No, he wasn't. Dad was trying to keep. No, he didn't try to keep up with it at all. No, but it's it's so funny to me. It's funny that you mentioned that. It's that some people still think that my dad drank like that.
Right.
Well, he never could have done that. He couldn't have done the body of work. So it always amazes me that people still think that his gimmick was really him. And but I must say that there are some of these impersonators. I just want to go up and strangle because they play him so drunk.
Those Rat Pack show. They had one come through here a couple times. I didn't go see it, but I mean, you see video on the YouTube of their commercial. It's embarrassing to be honest.
It is
with
embarrassing.
You.
Well, here's what's embarrassing.
And you're Dean's daughter. I'm sure it's more for you, but just as somebody that knows you and knows what Dean was. I mean, to see that portrayed, I mean, it's not right.
No, it's awful. And in fact, because people who didn't see my dad, that's what they're
that's what they're going to think it was. Yeah,
that's what they're going to think he was, and that was not him. He was an unbelievable actor and entertainer, and I mean, he was just amazing. So for them to bring it down to that level, that's who he was, it's disturbing to me. It is. But,
nothing you can do, right? I mean, I know because they're not really saying it's Dean Martin, right? They're just saying it's Dino, so you can't really.
Well, when they're saying it's the Rat Pack, of course you're going to think it's them. But in fact, we went to one show and I had to leave, but my husband, handsome John, walked right up on stage and took the glass out of the guy's hand.
Oh, did he?
Shame on you.
Good.
And the audience applauded. It was great. But yeah, well, John, he's
fearless like you are. You're both fearless.
Yeah. Well, I think you have to be in this life. You've got to. Yeah. Oh, God. It's so nice to talk to you.
It is,
It's always, fun. But I mean, you're a good friend, and I love that you play the music, and you're so good at what you do.
Well, we enjoy not only talking to you, but playing your music. Of course, Dean and Frank and all the guys, and Rosie and Ella, all part of the playlist here at WTMY. And again, for the folks listening. 2 shows at the Villages. It's a short ride up, not too far away, still in our listening area at the Villages Sharon L. Moore's Performing Arts Center at 7 p.m. on the 19th and 20th of June, and we're looking forward to seeing those shows. It looks like a nice theater on the website. I don't know how big it is, but it looks like it's a very nice venue.
Yes, that's what I hear, and so I hear the audiences are great. So the whole thing will be, and as I say, I've got the fabulous musicians and so I'm looking forward to it because I've never played the Villages before.
Yeah,
or
I haven't been there either. I'm looking forward to seeing it as well. So it'll be interesting.
So it'll be a first for both of us.
We'll get up there and enjoy some music and go to Denny's. I understand is right nearby.
Is there a day? Well, and then we're going to have a little drinking poo.
That may be all they can go to for a drink is Denny's, but
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
we may have to drive somewhere to get a little champagne. I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out.
All right, well, that's a date.
Well, Deana, always great to chat with you. I know our audience down here loves when you come through, and give our best to John, and of course Rosario, your great assistant, setting up our interviews with you. But please give our love to them as well.
I will do that, and I can't wait to see you. And we'll just have a fantastic time. And thank you again for all that you do, and for being our friend and spreading the word.
We'll take a short break, and more of them.